Yo, it's your boy back with Daily Sports Talk. Your boy AJ. Um, some games last night. Let's jump right into it. First game of the night. Rockets Trailblazers. Big win for the Rockets against a good, very solid Trailblazers team. Um, Last night you really saw the Trailblazers missing C.J. McCollum. He was he could get you 25, 30 points. He's certified, and last night they were definitely missing him, but they played well enough to win the game. Come out the gate, 32-17 the first quarter. They were just shooting very well from the 3-point line, and they were playing fast paced. The Rockets just kind of got overwhelmed in the first quarter, but in the second they bounced back and they pretty much flipped the switch. They scored 36-18. The Rockets did in the second quarter to kind of even the game out. And in the third quarter, they started to really attack the rim, get to the free throw line, draw fouls, and they shot very well from the free throw line. I think 80+% from the free throw line. And the Trailblazers didn't shoot as well from the free throw. Also, they just got dominated on the inside late in the game. The Trailblazers outshot them from the three, but the Rockets' ability to get to the hole with John Wall, with Victor, with Wood, they were able to draw fouls and get easy buckets. Those three combined for 67 points, 20 apiece. And that was, these two teams are similar in the fact that they really have three main scorer guys. Moving forward, those three, Wood, John Wall, and Victor, are going to have to be in the 20+ range in order to win games. Meanwhile, the Trailblazers, Dame did his thing with 30. The emerging star in the bubble for them was Gary Trent Jr. He had 23 last night, but they were missing that third guy, which is where CJ would be at. So, they had some help off the bench, not a lot though. And last night they were just missing. They were missing CJ a lot, and his impact on the game. They played well enough. They stayed close enough to win the game, but they just didn't have enough scores last night, and they ended up losing 104-101. Victor Oladipo, 25-7-5. Next game of the night, very interesting game. Now I always talk about when I talk about them MVP, I always talk about what the team looks like without a player on it, and that's what qualifies me. That's what qualifies them to me for deserving a spot up on that MVP. But last night made me question a little bit. No AD for the Lakers against one of the worst teams in the league, the Detroit Pistons, and last night they just obliterated the Lakers. I mean it was just Kuzma showed up last night to help. 22 points, 10 rebounds. That's the kind of Kuzma you want. So you got help from him. Caldwell Pope didn't shoot particularly well. Only 6 points. He only put up 1 3-pointer. So he wasn't really even trying to get involved. They shot 42% from the three, but only 12 threes. Meanwhile, the Pistons shot a little worse percentage-wise, but they made 14 of their threes. It was just a mismatch. It looked like last night, and I thought it would be a blowout for the Lakers. They got the Lakers out-rebounded them. More turnovers though for the Lakers, and it was weird to see the Pistons win this game, and it just made me question, because if Bron is the MVP guy, he's the reason why they win games. He's he's the engine to their team. You can't lose to one of the worst teams in the league, especially when you're getting help from your other guys. And it was just, that was a game that Blake Griffin came alive, 50% from the field, from 3 and from the field, 100% from the free throw line, 23 points. Then Ellington with 20 points, Plumlee 17, Jeremy Grant 14. Usually Jeremy Grant is their best player, but last night he was still a top player, but he only had 14 points. And for their best player not just to lead the night in scoring for their team, and they still beat you, it was just speaking, I think to the Lakers more than the Pistons. I think the Lakers gave the game away more than the Pistons won, but I do give them credit for finishing it out because it was laid out there for them. But I think Bron has to be a little more aggressive. 22, 10, and 7. He was looking to feed a lot of his teammates, get them involved. But this was one of the games where you just gotta take it. You just gotta be the guy and just say, all right, we're playing the Pistons. Let me go get 30, 40 points and control the game. But last night he just didn't do that. They played deep guys. They played 10 guys in rotation. Like I said, not much help from his team, but against a team like the Pistons, you gotta finish that off. Without no AD, with AD, you just gotta finish that off. So 107-192, the Pistons won that game. It was a bad game for the Lakers. Let's go Clippers, Miami. This was a good game actually. Because there's no Kawhi, no Paul George. It's essentially it becomes second team versus second team, and it was a battle. I like to see this. This was a game that shows the strength of the reserves for both teams, and Reggie Jackson was big last night. He made a couple mistakes down the stretch, but ended up getting to the free throw line, hitting big free throws to pretty much ice the game, put them up two possession game with seconds left. There was no way for the Miami Heat to come back. But throughout the whole game, I think Nicholas Batum was big. He's always been solid for them. I did like that pickup since the beginning of the season. Because he's a catch and shoot, it looks like he's like one of the best catch and shoot guys, because he doesn't even put the ball down. He catches it up high, leaves it up high, and just lets that thing go. 6 and 9 from 3-point last night, 50% from the field, 18 points, 2 steals, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. Batum was doing everything. I like Ibaka, 10 and 13. He was controlling, helped to control the boards. They're not really that big. Ibaka was their center last night. They got Zubac off the bench, but essentially they just try to play big wings and do a lot of switching and helping. And they're a team that's sort of like the Celtics in that way, where they don't really have a big. They just kind of have a guy that can fill that role, maybe fill up the space, get some rebounds. And that's what Ibaka does. For this team, I thought they played really well. 16 for Morris off the bench. I like him off the bench. Lou Will 17 off the bench. So when you have just those two guys doing that, and then they got Jackson with 16. So if you have Jackson on the bench, when Paul George and Kawhi Leonard return, that's a lot of points off the bench. It's almost 50 points from those 3 guys off the bench, and that's a powerful thing for the Clippers moving forward. The Heat are a team, like I said before, that just continue to fight. They were with them the entirety of the game. Came out strong in the first, 33-19 in the first quarter. Then it gets switched around, 29-17, and then in the third quarter, I mean the Clippers just put it on them. They just came out, and they're starting to get famous for that. I remember I want to say either 2016 or the 2017 Golden State Warriors. Their MO was in the third quarter to come out and kill, and they would just destroy teams by 20, 25 points in the third quarter and put games away. And that's what it's looking like for the Clippers. Kind of what they do to teams, 40-19 in the third quarter coming out. But again, when they see that big lead, they start to get a little relaxed, and they let the Heat come back with 36-21 fourth quarter, which got the game close and got it a little scary, up until those free throws from Jackson that I highlighted. But a solid win for the Clippers, for a team against a team that is built strong. They're built the right way. They're not going to go anywhere, and they came out to play last night. So kudos to the Clippers for getting that win against the Heat. And then we go last game of the night, Warriors Suns. I did think that the Warriors would pull this one out, because again, the Suns like to get a big lead, and then they get complacent. They let other teams come back, and so far this season,